What's up, people? Welcome to the channel where we talk about music licensing, music business, and music production. If you love any of the previously mentioned, be sure to subscribe so you can stay up to date on all my latest content. So we are back for another live Q&A here on YouTube. And pretty much I'm just here, man, to be an open book. As you guys come in, just let me know where you're from, what you do, and then we're going to dig into these questions. So while we're doing that, I guess I'll talk a little bit about what I've been up to this week. Man, let's see, it's Wednesday. So this week, just kind of cleaning up production stuff that I started like a long time ago and just never got around to finishing it and kept like putting it off. So it's been a lot of finishing stuff up for me this week. Yesterday, I finished a track that I did for a library that I ended up getting accepted to for some TV placement stuff. So they gave me the green light and I started some music, but then I got sidetracked working on some other stuff. So now I was able to kind of circle back around and start working and finishing up that stuff. So I finished that and started like another idea for them that I'm gonna go back and finish that. Hopefully that brief is still relevant because that was a minute ago. It was like a few months ago now, but so finish that. Let's see, just creating some more content, dope stuff, information for the Instagram page. Did a brand deal or sponsorship for some content coming up for some dope music tech software kind of stuff. So stay tuned for that. Definitely a dope resource that I think a lot of producers and artists and things like that will be able to take advantage of. So solidifying that, and just planning the next few weeks of content to help you guys. Shout out to Josh Taylor. What's up, Josh, from Los Angeles? That's what's up. How's the weather in LA? For the new people that's coming in, man, let me know where you guys are from. Let me know what you do. And we're going to dig into these questions, man. I'll be on here for about an hour. We usually do an hour. We hang out. I was on Instagram earlier doing live, answering a bunch of questions on there. So that was dope. So now I'm on here doing the same thing, hoping to help more people, give some value, share my experiences, and then we all grow together. What's up, Stone Cage? Welcome, producer, drummer from Denver. Nice, ice cold producer in Denver as well. We got Denver in the building. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So let me know what you guys been up to this week. What are some challenges you guys have been facing? And how can we help get you through those challenges? Kimberly, what's going on? Good afternoon from Columbus, Ohio. Based right now. That's what's up. Go Buckeyes. Sterling from Detroit, Michigan. Production engineering. I'm very interested. That's what's up. That's what's up. Yeah, let's jump in. Let's jump into these questions. Kimberly, let me know. What's the question? And let's see how I can help. And for the new people coming in, it's a Q&A. Bring your questions. I'm an open book. Y'all have me for like the next hour. Shout out to April from Maryland. Thanks for coming through. Okay, so let's see. Kimberly says, looked up a show that's still on, and there were two music supervisors with start and end years, 2017 to 2018, 2018 to 19, and now 2018 to present. Yes, I see that often. Josh Taylor. The question is, could you tell us a little bit about leasing music and how to keep our music protected while others are using it? Yeah, so if you're leasing beats, so say you're a producer and you're leasing tracks to other artists, it's, the main thing is just your paperwork. What does your paperwork say? You can send it to an attorney to review, to make sure it's the terms that are in your favor, make sure it's protecting you and what you need, to be protected from. And then honestly, the rest of it is, if you want to copyright that music, if you're selling it to different artists and you just want to make sure, you can further solidify your ownership, then you can do that as well. But people are, at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do, man. Some people are just going to steal. They're going to find a way to get your beats for free. They're going to find a way to use it illegally. Everything you just can't keep up with. But if it's something worth pursuing or suing over or whatever, you at least have your paperwork established, and have things that you can help prove that you own the music. So yeah, that's pretty much how to do that. Howard Wilkes, what's good? Kimberly, okay. So you said, who do you reach out to when there's no current music supervisor? Okay, so you've seen that there's multiple music supervisors for certain years. If the last one says 2018 to present, or if you don't see one that says 2000, because it says and not 2018 to present, you just reach out to the latest one that you've seen, or I'll reach out to all of them. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like if I'm trying to get in touch with somebody, I'll reach out to all of them, because even though they may not be working on that project currently, they could be working on other projects, right? So reach out to all of them and see, hey, like, where can you help? Ask what they're currently working on, or even do research based on the supervisor's names that you found, and just try and touch all of them. That way you increase your chances of getting in touch with someone who needs music, and can you can help and give value in that way. And then you may stumble across the one that's actually currently working on the show. But if they don't have one listed, either it's possible that they didn't use a music supervisor for the latest season or current season. They may just be using a music library. Sometimes they just use libraries and just source all their music from a music library company or music licensing company. So that's a possibility as well. So hopefully that helps. April says, how many libraries should you submit to? As many as possible. I tell everybody, like, when I started out trying to get some licensing deals, I was reaching out to like 3 to 5 libraries a day for like 30 days straight. So submit to as many as you can, because what happens is, like, some of them you may find I don't really want to work with, or their process is just a lot to do, or like to upload and different things, and it may not work for you. So the more you kind of reach out to and submit to, that'll give you room to establish relationships with a handful, and as that number kind of dwindles, you'll have more libraries that you have left to actually work with, and that works well with your workflow and what you're trying to do. So as many as possible. It's a numbers game. Thanks for coming through. Robin, what's up? Robin says, should you register with BMI or ASCAP? Yes, you should. If you want to, especially if you're getting TV placements or any performance royalty you definitely want to register with BMI or ASCAP. If you're asking which one, you kind of have to pick that yourself. I was with BMI. BMI was cool. I didn't have any major issues. I'm with CSAC now. CSAC is dope. But they all do the same thing. Just do your research on each. See which one you think would be a good fit for you and what you do. Some of them, they have their sets of different discounts for composers and writers and publishers. Some of them have different events that you can attend. I think ASCAP has a lot of events, and their content is pretty dope. From their email list. So just do some research and just pick one. But you definitely want to be registered with one so you can collect those performance royalties. Stone Cage says, should I register with a pro before Leasing Beats Online? Yeah, I mean, I would. That's getting that, just having that pro registration to begin with is it's always good, because you're gonna need it at some point, right? So definitely go ahead, register, and then those beats that you're leasing, go ahead and register those instrumentals with the pro, because you never know, you never know where they can end up or where they could be to start generating royalties. So just to have that in place is one less thing that you have to worry about in the future. So yeah, absolutely, man. Appreciate you coming through, Stone. No problem, Kimberly. Glad that helps. Howard Wilkes says, am I covered by CD Baby on copyright? I have not used CD Baby in years. I haven't even been to their website in a long time. So unless they have a feature that copyrights your music for you, no, that it doesn't cover you. Like I said, I don't know if they've added that feature. Last time I was on there, they didn't copyright music for you. If you wanted to be registered with copyright.gov, you have to go to copyright.gov and actually register your song or your music directly on copyright.gov, unless something's changed with CD Baby. So Ice Cold says, if an artist leases a beat and then wants to submit the song for TV commercial or film placement, would that be a conflict of interest since the beat was leased to other artists? Absolutely. And that's exactly why I don't allow, in my contract, when I sell beats, through BeatStars, I took away the TV film broadcast rights, because that can be a conflict of interest, because anything can happen to create confusion. So if if they send it to it for TV and film and say this licensing deal is an exclusive deal where they're the only ones that can publish it, and then you have some other artists try and do the same thing, but they didn't reach out to you, and then it gets placed. Now people are like, oh, who owns this? This wasn't supposed to be sent or published. Everything stops, and it just creates a bunch of confusion, a bunch of headaches of who owns what, and it can be confusing. That's why personally I keep my beat leases and what I do for TV and film separate, because I try and avoid that as much as possible. Exclusive stuff, I treat different. If I'm making something exclusively for one particular artist, then that's different. I'll pitch that absolutely for TV and film. But if it's something that's leased out to a bunch of different people, I just don't want the headaches that are associated with that. So for that reason, yeah, I don't do that. But yeah, that's a really good question, and it was something that that's partially why it took me so long to start Leasing Beats Online, because I was doing TV and film stuff first, but then I was trying to figure out a way to not have that, conflict, because it can, depending on how you do it. So what I did was just say, like, okay, well, you just can't pitch it in TV and film, which is, it's kind of unfortunate for the artist, because they can't take advantage of that opportunity if they lease it. But if you want more rights, then I guess you just kind of have to go the exclusive route. So that's a really good question, man. For people who are just joining, man, I'm answering questions. It's a live Q&A, music licensing, music business, and music production. So I'm on here. Let me know where you guys are from as you're coming in, and just hit me with your questions. I'm trying to knock out as many as I can. Corey Hadley, what's up? The question is, are you still getting royalties from ASCAP even then you have switched to a different pro? So I was with BMI and I switched to CSAC, right? Am I still getting royalties from BMI? Personally, I'm not, because the time that I switched from BMI to ASCAP, it was before I got like super heavy in the TV and film. So I had like a placement, a couple placements, Fox Sports, NFL Network. So those royalties came through BMI, and at that time I don't think I was earning anything during the time I made that switch. But it is a possibility, like if you're switching, if there's some works that are still registered with BMI, there's a possibility you could, potentially see some future royalties from that after. But now that most of my catalog is over CSAC, where that's where everything is earning, then everything I'm getting is from CSAC. So I'm sure there's some cases out there where, somebody's getting royalties from both, from and then it depends on how you do things too. Like if you take your catalog and then everything, depending on what publishers you're signed with, and then they have that information, then everything should go over to the new pro, because technically they're the only ones that should be collecting performance rights royalties for you. So hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, I think that's one of those things that, it's going to depend on the situation and the works, how much stuff you have over there catalog wise. And yeah, man, switching sometimes can just be it can be a task, but if you don't have to, I wouldn't. So I said, I started Leasing Beats Online before I transitioned to TV and film placement. I find myself wanting to upload every beat I create naturally, right? How do you determine what to submit for TV and film and what to lease? So when I sit down to create, right, I already know what is going to be for what. So when I'm working for TV and film stuff, usually I'm working off of a brief, like a request that they sent of some music that they want. So when I sit down to create music, I'm creating music for TV. Like say today I was working on tracks for TV. and then that's just that, you know. So now if I'm at a point like, okay, I want to create something for the beat store specifically, then I'll sit down and create for the beat store. So I haven't created anything for my store in a while, but before, when I was trying to upload stuff like every week, I would just have a day of the week where I would just work specifically on the stuff that's gonna be leased. Then I had days where I was just working on stuff that was gonna be for TV. So I pretty much decide what's gonna be what up front before I even start making it. So that's how I do it, versus creating and then trying to figure out, okay, do I want to send this to TV? Because for me, like, I have to know, because my structure and what I make is going to be different based on what I'm making it for. You know, the beat store stuff, I do a lot more, you know, like R&B stuff on there, versus, you know, the TV and film stuff. I'm doing all types of genres for that. And most of it is stuff that I probably wouldn't upload on the store. So yeah, that's how I go about it. CJ the Gifted said, why not register to all? So if you're a composer or a writer and you're trying to register with ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC, you can only be registered with one at a time as a writer or composer. If you're a publisher, you can register with all three. You have to have, you know, like a publishing company. And then, you know, you're allowed to register with all three, because publishers have to represent writers who are affiliated with each organization. So that's the reason why, you know, you just can't register with all, because you have to pick which one is going to collect for you on your behalf as a writer. So yeah. What's up, Quaz 5000? Thanks for coming through. Sterling says, in your program, do you give feedback on sound quality and mixing recommendations? So I do that through consultations and or critiques. So the consultations, I do hour-long consultations, right? And what those are, they're Zoom video calls, one-on-one sessions. You see me, I see you. And I answer any questions you have, and then I include up to 3 critiques. So you have 3 beats, 3 songs. During that time, I critique them live, let you know exactly what you need to work on, if anything needs to be worked on, and let you know how you can fix it to see the highest chance of placement, whether that's sound selection, mixing, mastering, you know, just structure, different things like that. And then just really break it down for you during those sessions. Or if you just want to send a track across, have me critique it through email. I do those email critiques where it's you just book a critique per song, send the song through. I give you my critique through email, and then you get that feedback, and then you go from there. So whichever one is most convenient for you, those are available at this website here, clintproductions.com/services, if that's something that you guys need to kind of move you forward. But no, it's not included in my Road to 10 Placements course. My course is focused on pretty much teaching you how to fish, like teaching you how to find companies that are looking for your music, teaching you how to get your music ready for submission, what that looks like, and you know, just the process and getting started and getting your music placed in TV and film. What's up, John? Welcome to the group, man. We just here, we chill it, we chill, chop it up, answer questions, and yeah, man. If you got a question, just let me know. I'm here. No problem. Ice Cold. Steven Jean Baptiste. Do people still buy your beats? Yes, believe it or not, people still buy my beats, man. Every now and then I get a beat sale come through. but it's kind of it's fallen off a little bit because I haven't uploaded on there in a minute, so I need to get back on that. Howard says, just found out that CD Baby will register my music to BMI. Oh, that's dope. I mean, that saves you a step. So that's super dope that it can all be done in one place. Corey, does your sample pack have those super important stings in them, and do you have drum kits? So my sample pack doesn't have like stings. So stings are like created from the track as a whole, right? So there's no like, I don't have, which would be interesting that I think about, but I don't have like standalone stings because they're created specifically in each track, in each full track. So no, the sample packs are loops. I have a couple MIDI packs and then sample packs with wave loops and MIDI, so you can kind of manipulate it. So it's like 4-8 bars of chords, progressions, melodies, a couple bass lines here and there. But yeah, that's what that is. No stings included. And yes, I have a drum kit, Urban Drums, on my website as well. So that's shop.clintproductions.com if you guys want to see the store and everything I have, resources for producers, all of that stuff. Young Ivory says, do you have a producer agreement template? No, I do not. But my advice would be if you have like you can find like an entertainment attorney. They'll do like a bundle. Just let them know exactly what you need and they can tailor it to what you need it for and how you're trying to do business. What's up, Tay D? Welcome back. Shout out to the new people, man. New people coming in. Let me know where you guys are from, what you do, and what questions you have, man. I'm here to help. Corey Hadley says, how long ago did you get your first TV sync license? Placement, where were you in life, and how did it feel? Man, so my first TV placement, NFL Network, that was 2013, I think. Felt great. At the time, I was a full-time gigging musician / struggling musician. But yeah, I was at home, was getting ready to go to the gym, and was checking, my websites and stuff. Checked my publisher's website. Publisher had it posted. I seen my thing. They had like this thing that scrolls through and it shows like recent placements. And my picture showed up and it said, the title of the song or track and my name. And I was super geeked, man. I was excited. Felt motivated and just felt like, I wanted more. Like I wanted to get more. It was proof of concept for me. You put in the work, you send it off, you get it placed. So now it's just like, let's see how many times I can do this over and over again. So super dope feeling. That was the first placement. What's up, Floric from Jacksonville? Currently registered with SyncCon. Dope. I heard dope things about them. Do you have a recommendation of a site or agency to go through to look for sync opportunities? Google. Everything is on Google, man. Google sync agencies, music licensing company, music library, and then sift through and go through all the different ones, look at their credits. A lot of them will have like a submission page or whatever. So yeah, Google. It's the number one way to find, my bad. That's my number one way to find a music licensing company. There's tons of them. And they're super approachable. Like, I feel like people think, some people think like, you gotta like approach them in like this super strategic way, which, you don't want to approach them and be obnoxious, right? But they need music, man. So if you have dope music, just ask them, are they accepting submissions? And they're pretty cool, man. Like, I haven't had any issues, shooting an email out and just asking. And they'll reach back. Some of them take forever to reach back. Some of them don't reach back at all, man. I reached out to some of these bigger ones, like was it Killer Tracks or I don't know. It was one of them, but they still ain't hit me back. It's been like 2 years. What's up, Teddy? Teddy says, is there an easier way to submit tracks to libraries other than creating a compressed file or uploading to DistroKid or AudioMac to create a link? It depends on how they want it, but you have Box.com, which I use a lot. Disco.ac, which is it's like a whole service, which that's super easy because you can create like specific playlists for, like, if they ask you for a link, submit a link, you can create like a tailored playlist just for them, create a link and shoot that link off to them, and just add whatever songs from your catalog on Disco.ac, and just put it in the playlist. So that's super duper convenient. But outside of that, Box.com is simple. Or you can get like WeTransfer Pro, where you can set the link not to expire, and then just upload on there and just send it. But it really depends on the company, how they want music submitted to them. But those are a couple ways that I do it. Appreciate you coming through, Teddy. What caught your attention about your current pro over BMI? The responsiveness, man. Like, there was a lot of events going on when they had the office here in Atlanta. And just super open and cool, man, and willing to help. A lot of resources, events and things like that. And just being able to easily get in touch with someone if there was an issue or question about royalties. I would get a response like in a decent amount of time. And just having that, that close-knit environment that they have, that's what attracted me to CSAC. So yeah. What's up, Kevo? Absolutely, man. Glad I can help. Quaz from Lancaster, Cali. I'm a producer and engineer. I have a few artists, but looking to break into TV and film. I saw a lot of your promos and decided to check you out. Thanks, man. I appreciate that. Stone. It's a good question. Should I have my LLC established before I start submitting for placements? No, it's not necessary to have that established to get started when you're starting out. You can just use your name. You'll use your name and social security when they send you, W-9 forms to fill out and things like that. But no, you don't have to have that, like, especially starting out. Like, if it's something you want to eventually establish, then you can do that. And then, you can either submit a new W-9 to companies you're currently working with your LLC name and then your EIN number. And then moving forward, with the new companies that you work with, you can just use that LLC, but nah, it's not necessary to get started. You would just use your personal information, name, social security, and if you got paid anything, then you would just get, that 1099 in your name, pretty much. Yeah. I'm registered with Song Trust. So Ice Cold says I'm registered with BMI and Song Trust. Song Trust is designed to complement the current pro you're registered to, and they collect royalties that ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, etc. do not. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is, and just making sure like anything that was left, anything that was just kind of left floating around out there worldwide, they'll go out, make sure they get everything they can. So yeah, pretty cool. And then they also will register, like if you can upload your tracks or your songs to Song Trust, and then they will make sure it's registered with all the pros throughout the world, including the one that you're with in the US. Takes a little longer for it to process, especially versus like uploading directly to BMI. But they eventually get it done. But yeah, I mean, they've been pretty cool. They've been collecting some stuff for me, mostly from like the instrumental tracks and stuff that I upload on DistroKid and all that stuff. They go and stuff that I've done for different artists. They kind of go out and collect everything that, like you said, that CSAC, didn't collect or don't collect on, different things like that. So yeah, dope stuff. Stone Cage says, thanks, man. I did get the role to 10 placements, and I'll be here for info until I get placed. I appreciate what you're doing. Dope, man. Thank you. Glad you got the course. Glad it's helpful. And yeah, man, glad you're using these lives to answer, those little in-between questions that come up, because it's hard to answer every individual question in a course. So that's why I hop on here and do these lives as well, so that, as you're going through the process of trying to get your first TV placement, or, just going through the process of just building a business as a producer, like, you have different questions, different situations come up. So yeah, definitely here as a resource, and glad this info is helping you guys. Corey says, is a movie or show that you have made music for that you watch regularly, or is your favorite movie? Not really. Like, there was a cooking show that my wife watched regularly, and I found out I have music on there, but not really. I don't watch TV a lot, honestly. Ironically, like I don't watch a lot of TV. Like, I'll pick, like, there may be a show or something that me and the wife decides we want to watch, so we'll like watch an episode a night or something like that, or we'll watch a movie, during the weekend or something like that. But for the most part, it's on like random kid educational YouTubes and podcasts and stuff through the week, because we got the little guy, so he pretty much takes over the the TV during the day. Nah, it's all good. But yeah, like, when I was back in college, man, like, I got to a point where I was just like, yo, I need to focus, man. Like, So I got rid of my TV, I got rid of my Xbox, and yeah, all of that stuff, man. And I was just like, the only thing that was in my apartment was music gear. So if I wanted to do something, it was gonna have to be music. So that's all I did, and that was like right after college. And then when I moved to Atlanta and just brought, all music gear, clothes, and all that stuff. And then I never went and bought another TV or a system. And I was just like, it's a habit now. Like, I don't need it. Like, I don't watch it. I don't desire, like, if I wanted to watch something, I'll just, stream it from a streaming service or online or something like that. But I didn't get a TV until I got married. And that was some years ago. But yeah, man. And then I just never went back into that routine of coming home from work and then just binging on TV. How much time do you usually spend in a day making music? Depends on the day. Yesterday I spent a chunk of time working on music. So it was about, let me see. I did the sound pack, and then I finished that beat. So I spent a solid 4 hours working on music yesterday, in addition to all the other stuff that I do. So it really depends on the day. And then there's some days where it's just like, it's gonna be like the full, 6-7 hours or whatever, just working on music. So yeah, depends on the day. What's up, Rose City Rider? The question is, do you get royalties for every time the placement plays like artists do with streams? Absolutely. So every time a show airs that has your music on it, that's placed, you get paid a royalty, unless you sign some agreement that says you don't. So literally, any show, how like shows or like Love and Hip Hop have like a marathon or whatever, and they go and replay all the episodes from like the previous season. You get paid every time that happens, every replay overnight. When it starts to air in other countries, you get that. When it switches over to streaming services, you get that, even though it's like super duper small. But yeah, and I still don't quite know how they calculate the royalties on like Netflix and stuff. I don't know how that works, as far as like per stream, or if it's just like a random number that they pick. I don't know. That's interesting. They don't give you much detail when you see those. It'll just say like Hulu, the name of the track, and then how much you got. They don't really give you details like that. So yeah, shout out to the new people that's coming in, man. If you guys do not know what's going on, it's a live Q&A. I'm answering questions about music business, music licensing, and production. And yeah, we just chop it up, man, and I help you guys get unstuck and answer any questions that you guys have, and just help you guys figure out ways to monetize your music and build your music businesses. Question is, which would pay more? Having your beat be the theme song for a series for multiple seasons, or having a full song get placed in a major movie? I'm gonna go with the theme song for a series for multiple seasons. But this is the thing though, that whatever that theme song, the show, is going to depend on the agreement you sign, the network, and all that stuff. How successful the show is, syndication, like all of that stuff. So it really depends. I personally, I feel like I would rather have the theme song on a show for multiple seasons. Because your theme song, I think your theme song makes more money than, you know, like the background instrumental cues and stuff like that. Your theme song is gonna do more. And then it's the theme song, so that's every episode that joint airs and re-airs. And then if you get something like, you know, that's just been playing forever, like Seinfeld or something like that, or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, you like, I mean, you're just gonna be getting royalties forever. Like after death, you're gonna be dead making money. So yeah, I would go for the theme song. Movie placement is gonna depend too, because you don't really know, you know what the situation is. How much is it? How much is the fee? And then you don't, like, if it's, well, things are kind of different now because you can't go to the theater to watch a movie, but you don't get, in the US, you don't get royalties for movies playing in a movie theater, because there's no like movie theater royalties. So in other countries there are, but not in the US. So that's gonna be like, you know, a upfront sync fee. I don't know, like, you know, if it's a soundtrack situation, that may be something different. I don't know how it works if, you know, if it's like being printed up on DVDs and streaming stuff. I don't know what those numbers look like. On a major movie with a full song. So that's a good question. Pro Squad TV says most time when movie scores, there is usually a license fee for that song and instrumental. Yeah. Ice Cold said, is it true that a song placement pays more than a beat placement? I've reached out to music supervisors and they prefer songs with vocals rather than just instrumentals. Or are there levels to this? Yeah, full songs with vocals will pay more than an instrumental. Like when you see like a royalty statement on BMI or CSAC, there's codes that they use. So it'll be like a vocal performance or like background instrumental. So they use like BI, or if it's like a featured use, different thing. They have different codes, and that's how they know how much to pay you for each one. So a song is always going to have a little edge over instrumentals because, for one, it's a full song. So you got, you know, those opportunities for full songs in films, movies, and different things like that. But then you also have an instrumental to the full song, so they can always create an instrumental or have an instrumental of the full song versus an instrumental. Like, that's it. Like, you don't, I mean, that's it. You may have stems to an instrumental, but that's it. It's just an instrumental. There'll never be vocals to it. So yeah, I mean, the song placements are most likely going to do better than just an instrumental. Then it depends on what the instrumental is for. If you do an instrumental for a commercial, that's probably going to pay more than an instrumental, like a background instrumental on a reality show. So there's different levels depending on what the instrumental is being used for and what the song is being used for. Because there's different categories for the songs too. Like you can have like a featured placement for a song in a film, or you can have what's called like I think it's called like source music or something. Like if someone's in a restaurant and the music is playing in the background, like as if it was coming from a radio in a restaurant, that's gonna pay differently than if an artist was like just performing in the restaurant and like the camera was on the artist performing their song. Like it's gonna look completely different. So it's all over the place for real. But yeah, it definitely seems like music supervisors are, definitely looking for full songs a lot of the time. Also, who owns the master to that full song, different levels. Yeah. So yeah, either you're gonna have a record label who owns the master, or if you're just completely 100% indie, you own the masters. So yeah, all that stuff plays a role in who gets what and how much. Qua says, when you're doing music for TV or film, does that company submit a cue sheet and it lands on your pro, or do you get one from the company so you can enter it yourself? So the process looks like this, right? So you sign a deal with the music licensing company. Dope, congrats. You're working with them. You submit music to them. When they ask you for music, they take your music, upload it to their catalog. Usually they're acting as your publisher at this point for the tracks that you send to them. They register those tracks with your pro on your behalf as your publisher. So they'll get the publishing side of your royalties. You keep your writers' shares of your royalties. And then if someone decides that they want to use your music and it gets placed, then the TV production company does what's called a cue sheet, and that just tells the pro like what was used and when was used and what production and all this stuff. And then the TV production company sends that cue sheet to all the pros, so that then they could decide who gets paid what and who owns what. So that's usually what that looks like. So when you're working with like a library or music licensing company, most of the time you don't have to worry about registering stuff with your pro. They usually take care of that for you. If you want to be sure though, I always recommend just asking them, so you know what you have to do, what you're responsible for, so everything is covered and know that you're able to collect what you need to collect. Really good question. What are the professional sports, NFL, NBA, go-to sync licensing companies or libraries? Yeah, they use like a combination of of everything, like they have music coordinators for those networks, and so it really comes down to like the TV networks and the production companies. Those are the ones, like not like necessarily the NFL, like the league directly all the time. Like there's departments, that go and outsource the music for their productions and things like that. So they have their relationships with supervisors and licensing companies and libraries, just like everybody else. So yeah, it's like not TBN, TNT and CBS. They have they have like music coordinators and stuff like that. And then they use libraries, publishers, things like that, and they kind of source the music from the sources that they have. No doubt, John. Appreciate you guys coming through. If you guys are loving the information, man, smash that thumbs up so I know. And I'll keep them coming every week. We don't stop. I said, if an artist is independent and I sell them an exclusive, the masters can be negotiated. I know a record label will own the master completely. Have you yourself own a percentage of a master? Yeah, so unless you sign it off to a label or whatever, or a publisher, you always own it. If you create it with an artist, I mean, you can usually, like the songwriter and the producer or the artist, it depends on how you do business. Like, it depends on what your contract says when you do a song for an artist. Like, are they paying to own the master recording of the song? Because sometimes if an artist is paying you for an exclusive track, are they paying to then own that master of their song as an artist? In that case, they could be the master owner. But it really depends on what your agreement says when you do that, or is it you both own it 50-50? So when something's licensed, it's two parts of it, right? So there's the master recording, and then there's the composition. So what you'll see happen a lot of times is if say there's like a big record, like a major artist record, and they like the song, but they don't want to pay the fee that it's going to cost to use that master recording from the big artist. They'll have like an indie artist come in and just record a new master. So they're still going to have to hit up the original, the original writers of the underlying work, the lyrics and things like that. But to clear the master side of things, could be cheaper or a little easier. So that's a way that they kind of work around that. Dice Beat said, how to stand out in a library or sing licensing company. Do you have to know someone? Not at all. I mean, it helps if you know somebody personally, but you don't have to. Like, the best way to stand out, in my opinion, is to consistently deliver. Every time they send a brief out, like, try and submit something to that brief, and then make sure like all your stuff is like super quality. And they won't ignore that. Like, when they see like you're consistently submitting stuff, and following up on the briefs that they send out, that's the best way to stand out, in my opinion, especially if you're working with, like, some of the smaller libraries. they'll notice like when you submit stuff, and for the people who just, flake out after a while. And just being easy to work with. I mean, there's some companies where like I didn't know anybody, but then I started working with them, and then eventually like you're known as the guy who can do dope R&B and hip hop. So then they've personally reached out and be like, yo, can you do a certain number of these tracks? Like you have a lot of these in our catalog and we need more. So yeah, they'll find you, man. Ant Groove Muse, what's up, bro? The question is, do you have a template with all your plugins, effects, etc.? What do you do for a producer block? I don't have. I have a template on my website, but it's shoot. Did I have? I can't remember if I used stock Logic plugins or if I had the plugins that I actually used. I can't remember, honestly. It's been a while since I created that joint. I know for sure I don't have one with the stuff that I use now, with an exception of my mixing, Urban Mixing Made Simple video course. That one I break down the plugins that I use when I mix and things like that, what's on my mastering chain. I give you the stems, but there's no template, but literally you can see my screen, so you can like just copy and replicate, what I show you in that course. What do you do for a producer's block? I have not had producer's block in since I started licensing, honestly. But here's a few things you can do to combat producer's block. You can collab with somebody that other people bring fresh ideas to the table, and it causes you to think, differently, creatively. So you can bounce ideas back and forth. That's one way. Second way is to play around with, different loops or loop packs. Get some new sounds, get some new drums, just something new to kind of spark creativity and approach things from a different angle. That's another way to get out of it. Another thing that I'll do, like if I'm not feeling inspired, is just take a break and then just walk away for a little bit and just do something not related to music and just kind of enjoy life. Go to a different area in the country or something to just soak in music in a different region, man. And just take a break. That helps, man. Sometimes you just gotta take a break and not force it per se, but just go and find some inspiration through just living life. You know what I mean? So those are a few ways you can kind of get out of producer's block. Also do a different genre. Like if you do one or two genres a lot, try and do something completely different that you don't normally do. That's why I haven't had producer's block, is because in licensing I do different things. I do R&B, hip hop, I do some pop, occasional EDM stuff, done some gospel stuff, some contemporary Christian stuff, some children's music stuff, some ambient, some tension, some orchestral trailer kind of stuff. Like it's all over, right? So I'm really able to kind of just kind of hop outside the pocket and do different things, and that just keeps me on my toes. What's up, Ernie Youngblood? Just came across your feed. Appreciate your insight. Is publishing negotiable Negotiable if I have set up pub as well. How to know what money to accept and sync is. So, great question. Can you negotiate how much you get in publishing in TV and film? If you're working with a library, music library, 9 times out of 10, no. Like, they have their agreement. They're going to get 100% publishing. You're going to get 100% of the writer's share because they're publishing your music. They're leveraging their relationships that they have. They're going to get they're going to get it's 50-50. So 50-50 looks like if there's an upfront fee, and this depends on the company, so it could change, but upfront fees can be split down the middle, 50-50, and then royalties are 50-50, meaning 100% publishers is them, and then 100% writer share performance royalties is you as a writer. So that's 50-50, which kind of equals 200, depending on which pro you're with. Some is 100, some is 200, but it breaks down being the same thing. So no, if they're publishing the music for you, they're going to keep the publishing. If you want to negotiate publishing, then you're going to have to, that's going to be a situation where either you're bringing like, you're going to have to bring a whole lot of music to the table or something, to get them to want to budge on that. Or if you kind of have an in or a relationship with someone and you kind of want to leverage that, then you can kind of do that. Or if you're like kind of doing like a co-pub thing and you represent like a large catalog of music, then you may be able to negotiate something there. But we're talking like music libraries is doing production music, and you as a composer or a writer, most cases, no. They have their agreements, and that's usually what it is. If you're working directly with a music supervisor, that may be different, because then a lot of times, like, you can keep your publishing and the writers, you keep the whole pie. So now you can negotiate and kind of, do whatever you want to do from there, because you have everything as far as splits and all that stuff. But not if you're working with another publisher or library usually. Hugh Jazz, if I steal beats but distort them and change their pitch, do you think people will notice? That's ridiculous. Don't steal beats. That's lame. John Tyndall, at 10%. How do let me see. Okay, John, I see your question is kind of split up in a few different chats. Let me see. So it looks like you played bass on one of your friends' project years ago. Found out you were listed as an instrumentalist. So I'm saying, is the song been played internationally? 10% as instrumental, how to collect royalties. So, John, so if you're listed, is the song registered with Song Trust and like your pro? Because those are where your royalties are going to come from. If it's not registered on those platforms with your 10% in there on that song, then you're gonna have to you're either gonna have to go back and find some paperwork where y'all signed off on that 10%, to be able to prove that you own 10% of that song that's been playing all over. If that's not in writing anywhere, you may have some challenges. But if it is registered and it's showing that you own 10% of that, and you're with Song Trust and or Sound Exchange and all of that stuff, then you just have to reach out to them and let them know, hey, this is what I have, these are the splits, I haven't seen anything from it, this and that, and just reach out and let them know. But you're gonna have to have some documentation that you own 10% of this. if it was like a work for hire situation and you were just an instrumentalist, but you didn't actually like write the song or the, you know, the instrumental, if it's a work for hire situation, then you can't claim royalties. Like it was like you got paid to play on a song. Like, you know, like if I hired a bass player, I'm hiring a bass player to play bass on something that I wrote. So in that case, I'm gonna just kick him his session fee, and then that's it. It's gonna be a work for hire agreement, and then he's not getting any royalties at all, because it was just a work for hire situation. So yeah, that's what you're looking at there. What's up, Alexander? Thanks for coming through. Isaiah, what's good? Dice Beats, appreciate it, man. Glad you love the info. Corey says, when you start to receive briefs from companies, does that mean you're someone they trust, or do they send them to everyone? Depends on the company. Like some companies just have it structured to where when they need music, they send out a brief and they send it to everybody on their email list. So yeah, that's usually how it works. All companies, like if it's like certain websites or something, they may not send out briefs because you just upload music to their website, and then they have their clients come to the website and they just search and type keywords to look for your music. So it's different. Companies are structured differently, just depending on how they're structured. Quad said, thank you for answering my question. I'm glad that you're going live answering questions, because there are a lot of scammers hunting for the up and coming producers, beat makers. So I know you're real and genuine. Absolutely, man. It's definitely a lot of scams out here. I get hit up, like people asking me like, yo, have you heard of this company? They asked me for like $20 up front to get signed up with them and all this stuff. So yeah, it's a lot of scams out there. Emails, A&Rs, man. The A&R joint. I never seen so many A&Rs in my life. And yeah, there's a lot of them out there. You got to be careful, man. If you can't, and I'm not saying if you can't find somebody on Google, they're not legit, right? You don't have to be on Google to be legit, but if people are who they say they are and they have the credentials that they say they have, you're probably gonna pop up on Google at some point, just doing a simple search. So always, like, you know, look up the company, look up the person's name, see if you can find a professional profile on something like LinkedIn, Facebook, something. And just try and find them and see if you can do your own little personal background search on them and see, you know, what they've done. See if anybody has worked with them before, any blog, something, man. Like something should be out there in this digital age. So just, you know, do your due diligence, man, so y'all don't get scammed out y'all's money and end up in, you know, just some deal that's just horrible. DJ Sleep says, how are we able to collab on a project with you? I'm not currently doing collaborations at the moment, but I appreciate you asking. There will be an opportunity though. I do a complete the beat contest that I want to do this year, and usually that's the opportunity where I kind of open up you know, the opportunity to collab on some stuff and let you guys do your thing on a track, and then we take that joint and pitch it for TV and film. So that's definitely something that you can look out for later this year. John says, what's the better music distributor to join? It's up to you and what you need, because I know all of them have different features. I personally use DistroKid, and I'm actually dropping a video about DistroKid this Friday, on YouTube at 12 p.m. So I'll tell you guys a little bit about, one of the features that I love about DistroKid. So if you wanna hear, my view on that, then tune in Friday. I'm gonna drop the video and just let you know why I like DistroKid. I've been with them for a few years now. It's pretty dope. Blessy Raj says, I'm Indian. How can I get into the Western music industry? Yo, that's the power of the internet, man. So I know for people who aren't in the US, a lot of times you have to sign slightly different paperwork than what we would sign here in the US if you're working with a music library. The dope thing about you being Indian, right, is that sometimes like these libraries are looking for music from certain countries and regions. So if you can make music and like what that sounds like from your home, country or whatever, you kind of have an advantage to be able to provide that music to the libraries. But you can reach out the same and then just let them know like where you live, where you're a resident of, and then they'll let you know if you can do a deal together. If there's a slightly different paperwork that you have to sign. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's possible. Because I've asked a publisher that before, because I had did some stuff with someone who they weren't a US citizen. So they just had to fill out some different paperwork. So just ask, man, just reach out. Search for companies that are here in like the US, and then just kind of reach out and ask them, how they handle those situations. But yeah, appreciate you tuning in, man. DJ Lana, what's good? How to make cover songs without copyright problem. You can't, like, depending on what the song is. If a publisher owns it, especially if it's like a major joint, they gonna collect their YouTube ad revenue. You may be able to use like a few seconds before they like pick it up or notice it, but yeah. Or you can use like music from, oh no, you mentioned doing cover songs, so yeah, if you're doing cover songs, man, you can go to you still probably gonna have an issue, but you can go through Harry Fox agency. They have like something where you can like license a song or cover song. Honestly, I think DistroKid allows you to do, like, if you upload a cover song on DistroKid, I think there's an option to say this is like a cover, and then they handle like the clearance of it, something like that. I don't know the details of it because I don't do like covers like that, but something to look into. Kenneth, what's good? Kenneth says, hey Clint, I'm still waiting for my information, my number from BMI. I have contacted them, but no response. Does that mean I have to wait until I get it to send music libraries? Yo, Kenneth, so let me ask you this. Have you, if you go to BMI.com, can you search your name under the repertoire? Let me show you. I'll show you where to search. Sometimes BMI like you'll be like you'll be legit, like done, and you won't know, but you can check to what am I doing? Where's my thing? You can check to see if your name pops up. So I'm gonna share my screen and make this window bigger because all right. So this is where you go, where you can check. So BMI.com, where we at? They changed it. Oh no, it's right here. So there's a little search box, search song view. Select writer, composer. And then sometimes you can search on here. What is this? I don't remember ever having a placement on America's Got Talent. No, that's the name of the track. All right, whatever. So yeah, so you can search like, and your name will pop up. And sometimes your IPI number will show up. So do a search on BMI.com, see if your name pops up. And then if your IPI number is there, then you're good. You're good to go. So that's a way to kind of check, especially if they're taking forever to get back to you. That's an easy way to be able to, check and see if it's done, if it's ready. Man, this is a good question. What's your most placed track? What's the name and genre of it? I don't know, man. I don't know, dude. I lost track of the names and everything. I can't even tell you. It's a good question though. I can tell you it's gonna be something hip hop. Because I have so much of that out there, and when I first got started, like that's all I was doing. But I don't know the name of the most placed one. I'm legit. I show up, I pop up on Google, y'all. I'm legit. Shout out to Pro Squad, man. Absolutely. Cola Coven, thank you for coming through, and I'm glad this is interesting. Pick up the Dangerous D-Box, incredible analog summing. Oh, that sounds dope. Anything with analog in it, like, it sounds amazing to me. How long should your music be when submitting to music libraries? I always do like a minute and a half. If it's like instrumental music, yeah. I usually rock with like a minute and a half. Dope. Yeah. Hopefully that helps, man. And yeah, man, cause BMI slow. It's like I'm trying to work, man. Y'all holding me up. So yeah, man. If it's ready, it'll definitely show up on that. Durf Boy says, is Pond 5 any good? Yes, I have some music on Pond 5. Pond 5 is dope. Like, this is what I love about Pond 5. So it's 100% passive, right? So you upload your music on there, the non-exclusive stuff, of course. But you can upload your music. You can do little piano, like just, you know, a minute of just piano music, just different things, man. You put it on there, you put your keywords on there, and then different people who need music for different things can go on Pond 5 and purchase like a license essentially to use it for that particular project. And if they like it, they like your music, they come back and, you know, purchase it again for something else, or and you can kind of set your prices. You can create like templates and things to kind of make the upload process easier. And yeah, once it's up there, it's just up there, and then people browse it and search it every day, and you know, every now and then you'll get payment from it. And I think once it reaches a certain threshold, then they'll pay you out. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Honestly, I landed a TV placement off of some music that was on Pond 5. So it's like, it's not just like, you know, some regular random dude creating documentaries in his room, like using the music. It's like legit, you know, people, like professional companies using music on Pond 5. So definitely a good opportunity to upload your, you know, your non-exclusive stuff to Pond 5. Elliot says, do you register your songs before uploading them onto a platform like Pond 5? Yeah, I'll register. Like if it's stuff that I'm putting on Pond 5, like my non-exclusive stuff, I register all of that on CSAC with CSAC, you know, before putting it on Pond 5. Because like I said, like if I think it was like Fox News or something like that, if they use it, they take a track, they use it, then you want to make sure it's registered so that you can actually get the performance royalties if that ends up airing on TV. So yeah, definitely make sure it's registered if you have it on Pond 5. All right, guys, so I'm like, shoot, I went like 30 minutes over, but y'all had some good questions, so we had to get them in. But I'm about to hop off, man. I appreciate y'all coming through. If you thought the information was helpful, be sure to like and share and subscribe to the channel, because I post other videos outside of just these live Q&As with a lot of information to help you guys and just help you, you know, succeed and navigate this music business and things like that. So make sure you subscribe. I'll be dropping the DistroKid video on YouTube this Friday, so look out for that. And yeah, man, if y'all want to get in touch, y'all know where to find me. It's ClintProductions.com. And if you want the free 6-step guide to getting TV placements, the link is there at offer.clintproductions.com. Make sure you screenshot that so you can visit and get that free 6-step guide, and I can let you inside what that process looks like and what I did to start getting TV placements, and eventually allow me to get 10 TV placements in a little bit over a year on my road to 10 placements. So appreciate you guys, appreciate the love, the support, and let's keep grinding and getting it. All right, peace.